Welcome, one and all, to another exciting episode of Peace Talk. This is the Peace Dealer. I am not sick at all right now, feeling great. Yeah, got a really cool episode. Every time we have a Gemini on board, it's always going to be lit. So, oh yeah, shout out to those of you in the live chat. Yeah, how are you, Jasmine? Thank you for joining us.
Hey, I'm great. I'm really excited because I like to talk, and I
Yeah,
like to talk with another Gemini. I was actually talking to my friend earlier today, and she's a Gemini too. She was like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be great whenever you get Geminis together." So I was just like, "Yeah, this should be fun for me. So hopefully it's fun for everybody else too."
no, definitely. And thanks once again for joining. This is really cool. For some of you may recognize Jasmine. She goes by Gladiator in Sweats and definitely always dropping some gems in the live chat too. So it's nice to see you up here as well. And yeah, how have you been? How have you feeling with this energy so far?
Um, Maybe humbling is the best way I want to put it because it's like I guess it's definitely intense. It's definitely maybe triggering. It's like the more emotional or more like yeah, that's the more emotional side. Is like very triggered, but it's like humbling because I recognize like what the triggers are ultimately telling me, what it's like me showing me about myself and about the world, and it's I don't know. It's just been a lot. Um, it's just been a lot. So I don't know. I can't even really put it to words. So I don't even know. Maybe people can even feel from me, maybe, but I don't know. It's just been feeling like not even really stagnant, but like things are like changing, and it's just like I don't know. It just feels like every little thing is being pulled out and like just like poked at. Every little thing is being poked at. Every little thing. It's just like wow, I didn't even realize that was there. Or, oh, I didn't even realize like the things that I'm like, oh, that's something I appreciate about myself, which I look up to about myself. But it can also there's so everything has a double-edged sword, I guess. Maybe that's just the Gemini effect, recognizing how even the truth, even in speaking our truth, it has like that double-edged sword of how it can harm people in the way that we even project our truth. I don't know. It's just a lot. It's just been deep for me. So yeah.
Honestly, that describes a lot of what I've been feeling too. It's it's very humbling. That's the perfect word. It's just like trigger city.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely do. And I guess it's like with every one thing I do like is like with every trigger, it's kind of like a saying, you just grow soft stronger, even if
Mm-hmm.
so that's definitely cool. And outside of that, it's as a Gemini, I'm pretty sure Uranus is hitting your 12th house too. Maybe not as a Gemini rising, but how is Uranus and Taurus affecting you? Has it isolated you, or have you been connecting more personally on your own?
Yeah, actually, it's mirrored for me because I'm actually a Scorpio rising. So it's actually hitting my like descendant, my seventh house. So it's definitely triggering my relationships, but since that's also very much near where my well not near, but it's in the same house or like realm, of my son. So it's like my awareness is all about relationships, and so my relationships, I definitely. Are you getting echo?
Am I what?
Are you getting echo, or is
No,
that
I
just
see you. I hear you. Yeah, it
okay?
sounds good on my end. On
Girl.
our
But yeah, I just my relationships are definitely on review on like every level, not just like my personal relationships on like a day to day, but then my relationship to my community and the people that I interact with online, and then my relationship to my country, my relationship to the entire globe, and then my relationship to the universe. Like all of my relationships, I'm just like everything, recognizing it, and it's just like the craziest like Russian doll like effect. It's just really crazy for me.
And I'm glad you mentioned you're a Scorpio rising. Congratulations on your transit. It's pretty lit. It's pretty interesting. Actually, it's funny I say lit because I'm sure with Scorpio, it's super intense, like you mentioned. But what is also your moon sign?
I'm Scorpio moon too.
Aha, okay. So for those who definitely aren't aware, so your Gemini sun, Scorpio moon, and rising. So you have Pluto on your moon.
Yeah.
What's that about? That's super intense, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, I never really recognized how intense, I guess, or really just the impact. Even when I first started getting into astrology when I was like maybe like 13, but like it's like when I really started to recognize just like the weight and like it's just really hard for me to even describe. I'm just like it makes so much sense why I do feel so deep because I do have like everything like sitting right there on my ascendant or sitting very near it. So it's like what I feel is definitely feeling deeply into the collective too. And I even see that when I talk to like other people and they're like, we're not talking about everyone else. We're talking about me and you. And I'm just like, but everything is everything else. Like everything I feel is about everything. It just feels very, I don't know. I'm always just not on this plane. It's just really weird.
And it makes sense now. You having your moon in the first, you identify with this Plutonian energy deep inside. So Sean asked, "Is Callie the destroyer?" I like that you have that shirt on. Awesome.
Yeah, I feel, I feel that Kali energy can be very misunderstood because destroying in and of itself inherently also creates. So it's just the process of birth and rebirth. It's not really like life and death. It's really life and re-life. It's immortal. So you can't really, once you kind of hit a box, you kind of have to break something. Something has to change. Everything has to change for there to be a change. So yeah, I mean, Kali is the destroyer, but also, the divine creator, you know, being able to break down the labels and the boxes so that you're able to freely create in a more expansive, I guess, medium, if that makes sense.
No, it definitely does. And once again, I'm definitely very fascinated about the Moon Pluto placement because I think it's only in this contemporary generation it'll truly be understood. Going from Scorpio, what's it like to be close to other people? Because I know having a Moon Saturn and Pluto transiting it, the last thing I want to be around is other people. It's like once I'm in other people's energy fields, I can feel my energy start to close up. Like, oh crap, I don't want anyone to get inside. So I mean, thankfully I have the cap to help control, but there's just that overbearing intensity with Scorpio. How does that match with your Gemini?
Uh, it's kind of hard to even try and even put it in a box because it always changes.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was younger, the way I related to people was definitely more in a absorbing, like I absorbed everyone's stuff.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really understanding any of this. So there was no understanding of even how to like release or even understanding that, oh, what I'm absorbing isn't even mine to begin with. So, I mean, at first there's like this process. Well, at first it's like I didn't really care, but like when I do find people I care about, it was just like such an intense like latching on. And it's just like really, and even now it's not really like a latching on, but it's like there's definitely an awareness of where I can recognize like an affinity I have with someone where we can vibe. And this is definitely where, even what you were talking about, I feel in the last video about Venus and Scorpio, about people recognizing that just because you feel a sexual connection, that doesn't mean the meaning you attach to it is your own personal meaning that you attach to that sexual connection. So it's like really like I recognize that now, but it's like for me, at least talking currently when I connect with people, I guess I enjoy it a lot more now because I'm able to like recognize what's mine and what's not. But people's stuff can be very intense. Like I can see or read certain people's names. I'll just like read someone's like I guess just something that represents them, and I can feel it, and it'll just be like, oh, like that's like, and I know it's not mine. And I could just pick up on everything very just sentiently. So yeah, I don't really like being around crowds. I don't even being live. It's kind of like it's not hard, but it's definitely a process of like having to like sit in all of the attention that I can feel, and I can just like feel like I'm vibrating so much because I can feel everyone's like attention. So it's just I don't know. It's
That makes a lot of sense.
yeah, I don't know. I feel it all in the body, so it's fun, but it has its cons, I guess.
Yeah, and it's funny because as you were saying, as your Gemini sun was like expressing it, your Scorpio moon was your Pluto was like, oh, we can't reveal the Scorpio moon secrets, so you can only tell so much. Like I could visibly see you like trying to tell us, but not tell us too much, which is
That it's so true because I really have such a like naive, honest, like a genuine like desire to interact with people in such a lighthearted manner. But then I do feel that like part of me that's just like, why are you even dealing with these people in this manner? Like the part of me that's just like, you don't have to deal with this. You don't have to deal with this. And it's like, no, but I am. We are all. I'm them too. It's just really weird. It's like, but that's also part of like the humbling experience for me because Pluto has been like playing with like us that've been in this Uranus Neptune conjunction, like generation, or not even generation, but that pocket of us that have that conjunction. And so it's really just been like pulling that part of me out because I am more like just wanting to give all the secrets or like just wanting to be more giving. And yeah, now I'm having to be more like hermit mode, having to be more like, no, people need to pay in some sort of energy exchange for this. Like you don't need to be doing it that way. So it's been
you really help me understand like the beef Scorpio and Gemini has because the difference I feel like it's okay, no, I won't say it's easier, but it's like with Scorpio, Gemini knows the secrets in a way, so you can give it away. And then Scorpio is gonna be like, negate, no, hold on.
Exactly.
Why?
Exactly like that. Oh my gosh, it's exactly like that. It's like the know-it-all. I just feel like all the time, that's kind of why I always have to be like a wallflower, because it's like if I'm not, then even me, it's not even that spilling the secrets would be a bad thing. It's that even when I spill the secrets, it's gonna trigger people. And so it's like if I give the honest or my honest truth, it's gonna trigger people and it's just gonna cause an interaction, which it's not bad, but do I want the interaction or not? That's really like my choice.
And you're really right about the trigger. I don't even think it's just Pluto, but
Yeah.
it's definitely very key. I think the difference between that and the Cap Moon is that Capricorn knows Gemini is going to give it away, so Capricorn just limits the secrets they tell Gemini. And it's like, oh, tell me more, Captain. Saturn's like, no. But Pluto's like, damn, like you already know too much. I can't hold my. And it's like it can, but that's where it's cool in your case, where you identify directly more with your Pluto. So I don't really think you'll give away too much, especially now that you're starting this new cycle. really awesome. I saw in your chart you have Mars and Leo too. So
Yeah.
what's that for, like having a Venus in Aries as well? You got the fire and the water and the air.
Yeah, it's no Earth. Um,
No.
no Earth. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense for me. But the Mars in Leo, it's actually also conjunct Chiron for me. So where for other people maybe like they not just expressing themselves in their true honest self, it's like a fuel for them. But like when I have felt like I've done it, it's or not just that placement, but there's that I feel it's also a quincunx my Uranus and Neptune in my third house. So it's like I just don't ever really feel comfortable being able to express myself or being able to come from my like just most genuine creative self because what people consider like creativity is just so much more expansive than just being able to like mix mediums or mix like our material mediums. I feel like my creativity is just not something that I don't even want to say other people can't understand because it's been a lesson for me to understand. So it's like in knowing that it's hard for people to understand, it's just like that's really like one of my biggest wounds, like really learning how to express myself but also not really being like so offended or taking everything so like personal or to heart if people don't like accept my expression. So yeah, it's been that's personally like a really big trigger. It's like a hard square to my moon actually. So yeah, it's a lot.
And I know I know with Scorpio and Leo or Leo and Aquarius. I mean Scorpio Leo or Scorpio Aquarius squares. It's always just that intensity of being too much or not being too much, but coming off as too much for others.
Yeah, yeah.
It's something that I've seen hurt Leos a lot when they feel like their love is too much to be accepted. Because can love really be too much? You know, it's really. I mean, too much of anything. Man. So, but yeah, it's interesting to keep in mind. But other than that, you know, this is really awesome. I wish you the best. 12-year transit. It's great to see that you're already, you know, in on your path. You do daily tarot cards, which we'll talk about really soon. Um, how one more thing about Pluto, because I'm gonna try and get some secrets out. I doubt I'll be that successful. But how do you? What's energy manipulation like for you now? As far as like feeling into your energy, is it easy to do at will to just channel your aura and to feel it and see it?
Um, for me, yeah, it is because, or at least the awareness has been the part for me because I've always been powerful, I guess, with my aura. It's recognizing how it materializes or how it does affect my environment or my world. So like um I mean just even recognizing even people that are in close proximity with me, like or just are in my environment, like my vibe is like I don't say it's like contagious, but it's like I don't know, like I notice like the way that people want my energy. And so it's like I don't know, it's just really on that good side, it's good because I'm learning how I can like imbue my energy, like not just in like things that I can like give to people, like I'm able to like spread my like energy in a good way in that way, but like recognizing also when I'm like not in a good mood, how like that's going to affect people around me and or like they can pick up on it or like
Like if you turn in a storm and you just get super angry and lightning starts striking and the wind.
funny you mentioned storm though, because it's like that yeah.
Oh wow! Oh damn!
It's kind of like that, but it's like even what I think of is Raven from Teen Titans, and like or any character that like is psychic, and you notice that they're always having to be neutral, and I'm like that's for, and they always like show in the show like it's for a reason because like their range of the spectrum of what they can feel is so, you know, expansive and just so unlimiting, so or just you know, just so infinite to where like it's a lot to control. So it's like remaining neutral or just finding that neutrality and releasing a lot, just kind of being a blank slate, honestly, it's kind of really for me, because since I do, you know, relate so much to my moon Pluto energy, it's like maintaining that neutrality is really how I'm able to maintain my aura, or I can also, you know, decide what frequency I do want to pick up on, because I'm going to pick up on something, because just all the stuff in my chart, yeah, I'm just a huge sponge. So it's cool because that means I can pick up on some really cool stuff, but I can pick up on some really not cool stuff too. So,
yeah. Okay. I mean, if anything, I love how your face said it all. Like you were speaking from experience. Like you've seen some stuff go down, and you're like, oh, so that's what's up. That's what's up, indeed. Yeah. How is it that you got started on what you do? What inspired you to really walk this path personally?
I guess what inspired me, I just feel like inspiration kind of for me wasn't even a thing for me. It just was what it was. Like I just was always felt knowing I had to figure out something, like there was some mission or there was something I came in here trying to do, and I just never knew what it was. And I mean, I spent so much time, and I feel like not even time was wasted, because I'm finding all the things that I thought that I would want to be into somehow incorporated into what I'm doing now. But it all just started with just figuring myself out. I just wanted to figure out who I was, because I just had a lot of these what's the word for it? Like disassociation, is that what they call it?
Okay.
So there would be like looking back, I'm able to like connect the dots and be like, oh, I was disassociating. But there would be these moments where I would really just like not be in my body, and I would just be, or I would have these moments where I would just be like, I would look at myself and I would just be like, I don't know who I am. Like, I don't know. Like, it would just be really weird. And it's like, I guess a trippy moment where like, I guess those are the kinds of experiences people might have when they're using like psychedelics or they're using like plant medicine. But like, these were moments I was having like as a kid and as a teenager. And so that's kind of what started me just trying to figure out like, where was this, like, what was I experiencing, and like, what is this, what was I, who was I? Because I just always knew I was different. So that's really what it started with, was just like learning about myself, and then wanting to just share the information with other people, mostly because I didn't have people to talk to about this, because people don't really understand this. And I mean, even people in my, I guess, regular life, is that what we're calling it?
All right.
Really, you know, interact with me on that level. But like, I really wanted to like connect with people somehow that in some sort of way resonated with knowing there was way more outside of what we could see or what we could experience just within our physical bodies. So that's really what I guess just started it, was just learning about my own natal chart, and that just took me down the rabbit hole of just learning about everything, I guess. And I guess relationships, honestly, because not a lot of relationships, but like, I guess platonic relationships is what people call them. But I mean, for me, it's kind of hard to tell the difference what people consider a twin flame relationship and a platonic relationship. It's both the same, very much learning about codependency and attachment and power dynamics. So having learned through those relationships ultimately activated me to have to acknowledge a lot more of myself. And yeah, that's really how it all started, I guess.
Plus, it's easy for people to mistake platonic connections and relationships for something soulmate or something twin flame all the time.
Yeah.
I remember it's one of the things I got advised. One of the first things that the Leo came when he read my back before when he was just David Palmer, and he read my chart and I was asking him about compatibility. He's like, all right, first we need to make sure this isn't just a Pluto obsession, which it was. So it ended up really helping me realize, okay, it's a part of it, but not everything. But yeah, it's really amazing to see your growth and process. It's going to be amazing to see more of it too. And but what are your go-to tools right now? What's your sword?
It's kind of even hard to even. I don't really have like a book that I go to. I don't really have like a quick or simple like material to be like, oh, this is what I lean on when I'm like down. I like ultimately have to lean. I guess it sounds corny to say lean on myself, but like I mean, I use the tarot, I guess, if we're wanting to talk like material tools for how to like really see what's going on. I use the tarot, but I also lean on just the understanding of how we're all connected, and not just like how we're all connected, but like in knowing that this is all an experience that I chose to be in. I chose to play this experience in some way, shape, or form. And that there's always some sort of lesson or there's some sort of expansion for someone, known or unknown. And it's really hard, I guess, to even just say that, but like the power of my truth is honestly enough for me. My truth is just that much for me. Like, I mean, I've obviously read so many different texts, and I mean, I guess I lean on, I guess, what you would consider, I guess, the true essence of Christianity, like not what people want to talk about as far as like the Bible, but like in knowing that all is love. I am the love that I am. And that like that's really like I guess the mantra that I'm saying often is I am the love that I am. And only love is true. And so anything outside of love is not me. And that's just something I ultimately lean back on, especially when it's really triggered, is, recognizing that, okay, if this is something that's triggering me and it's what I'm recognizing of not of love, then it's not real. And it's just, I don't know, it's really just this mental process. It's very psychological. So that's just for me how it is. Like the world is honestly my teacher. Like this realm is my school. It's this lab school for me. I don't really have like someone else's teachings to be like, well, this is what they said. Like, no, this experience is my teaching. So I guess I can only say, I guess, lesson from age, 1 through 13 is what, I fall back on. Or yeah, that's just how it is, life experience.
And one moment. All right. And it's one thing that you said about really living your truth that I appreciate, because it's really revolutionary to decide to do that. People kind of are hesitant because they feel like they need to have an absolute truth. They feel like they have to be 100% right before they go out and share it. And it takes a lot of courage and confidence to do that. Kudos to you. And that's totally right approach too. I would say if anything, I'm really interested in how your relationships will be when Uranus goes over that 7th, because that's definitely going to be electric, indeed, without a doubt. And once again, how long have you had your channel?
I just started my channel well, I mean, I've had the channel, but it was just like a little personal channel. I just kind of reformatted it for this, but I started uploading videos end of March, maybe. Yeah, end of March. And that was really just not even for other people. I mean, it was, but it was like I have that tendency to start something and not finish. And so I knew that off bat, which is why I like, huh?
Gemini gang.
Yeah, I was like, and it was really accountability to like, and that's, to do it every day, because not for other people to like hold me accountable, but it was like something for me to see, I guess, materially, where I was able to like look back, and even if people weren't following me, like, because it wasn't really for people to be like, oh, hey, follow my channel, but it was just like, I just wanted to see that I was willing to do something and put myself out there in a way that I just was never comfortable to do. Like, I mean, I guess doing anything is scary like that, but it was just super scary. So, but yeah, I just started it. So yeah, I'm definitely YouTube noob in this.
Yeah, you're definitely here to stay too. It's once again going to be really awesome to see how you personally evolve. And yeah, it was nice to realize you are based in Vegas. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. Where at exactly? Like by Summerlin, the west side, the east side?
Right now I'm on the east side. I mean, I'm always moving. Scorpio life for real. I'm always just transforming. I mean, I'm always somewhere in Vegas. Last year I was somewhere in Henderson. Then I was Summerlin. I'm always somewhere, but I'm always somewhere in Vegas.
Shout out to Ashley Kim, who just came in when I said you were in Vegas. She's also from Vegas too.
Really?
She's a
I would just love to connect with more people in Vegas, because like now I feel like I'm starting to want to come out more.
Lace thought that she's in Vegas right now, so we definitely gonna do a meetup for sure. For you guys who want to know why I was hungover and I got drunk, you can all blame Ashley Kim. Right now, she invited me out, and I'm blaming her. I had a super fun time. It's all her fault. Sagittarius problems. So it is what it is. It's interesting too. I hate to do something impromptu, but if possible, we could probably set something up for next week. I was gonna do a meetup in Cali, but that kind of fell through. So might be able to do something in Vegas and or LA. So
Next week? I'm just trying to think what's happening next week.
so
But that would be cool, because October is about to be crazy.
yes, it is. I completely oh my God, October is about to be completely crazy. So yeah, what do you feel? Yeah, okay, Lace thoughts. I feel you. We're gonna do something in Vegas for sure. And it's how do I say this? It's let's talk about the astrology for October, November. It's how do you have what kind of hope do you have for Jupiter and Sagittarius? I know for us Geminis and Sag, it's gonna be great for relationships and expression. But yeah.
I mean, for the collective or for personally? Or both?
Both.
I mean, personally, I'm excited because Jupiter has been just like blessing me, just been chilling in my first house. So I've been excited about like Jupiter just coming home to Sagittarius, because also a Sag North node. So I'm excited to like really bring some like tangible, like, I guess like, I just really feel like I'm actually gonna like have like physical, tangible like proof, or just like a path where I'm actually gonna be like treading my path, like finally. And I just feel like just like the little kid in me just wants to like cry, like, oh my gosh, like finally, like, oh, we didn't think we were gonna make it. Like, oh my goodness. Like I'm just like the little kid in me is like so sad. Oh my gosh. I just wanna like cry tears. But we're not gonna do that right now. So personally, I'm looking forward to it. But collectively, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I guess I always ultimately not just look at things in an optimistic way, but I see everything being part of the plan. And so I feel like, and I guess I just ultimately feel like I embody like that Kali energy. So I guess as things are starting to like not just like fall away, but then the the true light is going to expand at the same time. So it's like the most like beautiful, like I feel like collapse and like beginning of like a new like birth of something. It's just I don't even really have words to really put for how I feel about what we're really stepping into. Like I mean, just even from what I follow within like the 13 moon calendar, I just already felt like yeah, it's definitely this like not even like magical, but it's just like a synchronization. We're really just like syncing up with like the future, which is already like happened. So it's like, if it makes any sense, it's like we're just catching up to what has already happened. So it's just kind of like we're just like letting it happen, and I'm just like down for the ride. I feel like Jupiter and Sag just like you guys need to just buckle up because I'm taking you out to party. And so yeah, I'm excited for the party.
Party of discovery. I think that was genius that you said it's already happened, because we are shifting into that Godspeed higher frequency. So it's like being aware with higher senses. I love how you said that. And it's very interesting. Even with October alone, we have those oppositions with Venus retrograde and Uranus and Aries. So I mean, it's interesting to see how this will change people's. It's going to be a time where people just completely make radical changes with who they connect with, and to connect with cool people. Definitely a portal opening. Um, with that in mind, and with everything we've said about how you tap into your Scorpio moon, how do you personally deal with psychic self-defense? What advice do you have for people practicing it? And would you get into exorcisms? What's your whole philosophy about that?
Um, it's really funny that you even bring up exorcisms. I'll talk about that after though. I guess it's kind of even hard for me to talk about it because I feel like the way that I personally build my psychic defense is what people would seem as counterintuitive. And so I don't really work with it in the way of like defense. I don't work with it in the way of like needing to build a wall or needing to like build some sort of boundary. Like for me, it's in recognizing that all like everything that we are experiencing and all that is of God in some way because it materialized here. It is. So it's like, what is there for me to fear? It's ultimately a part of me. And there's some part of me that is reflecting here. Like if we really just apply physics to like I don't this is gonna take a while for me to try and explain it. But I guess for me ultimately it's just love. And unconditional love is really how I build my psychic defense.
Mm.
Fear or anything of the light can only even be created in a shadow of a light, and a light has to be created. So someone has to be creating that light. So my light just has to be brighter. And so my light is just bright. And it's just bright. And I guess just in building my aura to be strong enough, I don't worry about needing to defend myself because honestly, in releasing fear, that's my freedom. That's my shield. That's my and my like yeah, my truth is my shield and sword. Like, it is what it is in the truest essence.
I want to expand on what you said, because it took me a while to realize that, because my Mars is in Aries, so I'll get very defensive and reactive. If you tell me to turn the other cheek, it's like you're funny. But I realized exactly what you said. I had this conversation with my Gemini mom yesterday, and it was really enlightening to rest assured that, you don't have to really fight battles that proverbially God or your higher self fights for you, and really standing in love, really standing knowing you're protected, even when you feel that pain, even when you feel
Yeah.
that, which is when you're supposed to put that armor on. It does help. Think about how many people in that situation feel like they have to do something, feel like they have to be in a position to force or trigger something. And it's like, if you surrender all that to the universe, it totally got you. And it's just a fascinating concept to think that you can be in times of trouble. You can be in danger. And instead of trying to do anything, you literally let go, because you have angels, you have energies that protect you, and you navigate with that attitude. And just like you said, it's like that truth, that attitude is more than a weapon and shield. It works. So it's really awesome to see you internalize this, especially at your age.
This is only through experience. Like, and I guess like that's why it's hard for me to even want to, not even want to, but to like talk about it, because I do recognize, like, not just that it may trigger people, but that like there's validity in what people would say to try and counter my truth. Like, there's validity in being, or validity in your truth and saying, well, that wouldn't work for me. Like, that's just words or whatever. Like, and it's like recognizing like that doesn't have to be, that's not an attack on me. That's them. And it's like, if that serves you, you can choose that. But it's like, I also just want to offer to people, like, if we are going to stop just talking the talk and we're going to walk the walk as brand creators, that means taking full responsibility. That means taking full accountability, and being like, all right, so if this is not serving me or this isn't working for me, like, how is it that I can change myself, or how, like, what is it that I am doing to pull this in? And that's, or that's just my truth, and it's like, that's not even like the ultimate truth. I don't even want to put it as the ultimate, because that's even what I'm realizing, and having to humble myself and accepting that if we are all also God, then all of our truths are also valid to a certain extent as well. So it's just, yeah, it's just a lot. But yeah, just standing in my ultimate truth is what works for me. Because when I work against that, that's when I create further separation and further chaos and further destruction that is unnecessary.
So let's play the 3 questions game. Take turn asking each other questions.
I was scared of this part because I hate questions. Or I don't hate questions. Let me not say that.
Yeah.
I don't often have good questions, I feel.
I'm putting you on the hot seat. Haha. We'll take turns as usual. You can actually start first. You can ask me any question about anything, and then I'll answer, and then we'll go 3 rounds back and forth.
Oh man. That's a hard one.
Take your time. Take your time. You definitely need time. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
What is your favorite? Because I feel pop culture is something people most relate to, but it also describes people a lot. Like, what are some of like your, like, let's say your top 3 pop figures, real or created, that you most relate to or that you most resonate with?
Kanye West. I didn't realize at first too. Like, I heard College Dropout 2003, and I was like, this dude is it. Like, wow, that was like my introduction to hip hop, because I got on late, and I was listening to a little before. But I like Ludacris too. We're talking like pop. Well, Ludacris isn't pop, but I had learned more about Ludacris from his pop singles, and then realized, oh wow, he's really hip hop. But I feel like Kanye West to me is so iconic, because he has showed me old Kanye. and knew Kanye too. Like he showed me what it means to be a Gemini man in like America, and really just a Gemini, but especially a black Gemini man in America. And not so much that, but at first I didn't understand why he was so, you know, not arrogant, but why he was kind of like that. And I never had a problem with it. I was like, that's Yeezy, you know what I mean? Like that's why we love Kanye. But growing older, shout out to him moving back to Chicago too. It's like now I realize why he's like this. And then even learning astrology and realizing him and Kendrick are Pisces moons and how they're at the iconic static and how that works. But like yeah, it made me realize, wow, that's why he goes out of his way to be boisterous. That's why he goes out of his way to have an attitude because, it really made me realize it's a Gemini thing. Like it's really more, it really made me more proud to be a Gemini and to not really feel bad about having an attitude and to have free thoughts. That's one thing he champions. Like just having the ability to have free thoughts. While you're angry about what he tweets, he's a free man in America where he may not have been able to have free thoughts before. And the fact that he can get in so many people's feelings, it's amazing to see too. So great question. I think another pop figure. I want to say Beyonce.
I just mean, I guess, of all of our culture, like just it could be like a TV show or like a comic book, just like any person or figure, character.
Okay. That's such a good question. If that's the type of question I need to actually think about more because there should be like two. I didn't know Ice Cube was a Gemini HTV3. That's the best news I found out today. That's good. That feels good to be a Gemini. That's amazing. So, yeah, that's a really good question. I was gonna name some anime character, but other than that,
I mean, I want to know the anime characters, but you don't have to tell them.
I don't want to say the cliche Goku and Naruto, so I'm gonna say Urahara Kisuke. But other than that, the guy who plays the Mentalist. It's this show called The Mentalist. Let me actually pull that up. His name in the show is Patrick Jane, but it's played by Bruno Heller. Okay, Bruno Heller wrote the show, but yeah, it's awesome. That show really awakened my desire for mentalism, which is like a magic craft or whatnot. It's such a good show, and it's one of my dreams to get to that point. Even though he does a lot of deception, he reminds me of like a Libran, Gemini-ish figure. But other than that, it's really cool. So yeah, great question. I'm really thinking about that even more too, personally. But yeah, what is your go-to method? I know you answered this before, but if you ever, it's a two-part question. What's your go-to method for dealing with psychic attack, and what's like the worst psychic attack you've ever had, or what's as a Scorpio moon to deal with psychic attack?
I mean, it's really just hard to. I don't. My process is ultimately really to do as little harm as possible, and for me, it's transmuting it. Like I don't want to even try to like reflect it back. For me, it works more to transmute it because then I'm even able to use it for myself. You really wanted to be, I guess, selfish about it, but even then it's not even selfish because, if it's for the good of someone, then I feel it's for the good of all. So, I just ultimately, I guess I think Ho'opono Ono is like, I guess, a more like actualized like form of like forgiveness. That's ultimately what I work with. Is ultimately, even if I'm not able to see, I guess, the truth of the matter, because I'm still in this experience too. I'm often triggered or like upset or feel someone harmed me, but I'm working to ultimately work to see that even if it is like not a lesson, or if I'm not seeing the lesson, then ultimately I can even rest assured that it could be a lesson in me working to absorb that energy, to transmute it into to a more constructive, creative energy, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
No, definitely.
I mean, I guess that it's hard to just not give like, oh, well, this is what I do. I just do this, and that's what I do. But I mean,
And it depends on the situation too.
yeah, it's very psychological. It's very much more, even especially if I'm talking more like within my body, and I feel the trigger. Um, right now, I'm not really in the process to be like ultra like quickly transmuting it. Like sometimes I might have to take a moment away to like really, bring myself to center, to be like, okay, to sit in that emotion, because I that's kind of really the kicker to that Scorpio energy. You kind of have to feed into it a little
Yeah.
to be like, okay, I see what this is, and then you're able to work with it, transform it into something else that you'd want it to rather be. So I mean, I could make it into something more, I guess, like of hate, and I could do it that way, but it's just like that's just not my way of doing it.
That's what's up.
And what was your other question? It was
That's
that was it, right?
let's stay with that. So now we're on the second round.
Ooh, oh man, oh man. So I want to ask a good question. Hmm.
I'm gonna do the waiting music again. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, okay. I feel like I guess I have a question.
All right.
All right. So, do you feel like there is? I guess what's your definition of black magic?
Oh, that's a great question. So the first level of black magic, I would think, is any type of magic that interferes with the free will of others and crosses their boundaries. But I really see black magic as any type of magic that incorporates shadow arts and is used with ill intent. So yeah. Like I feel like you could use black magic with good intent. So there's like different types of black magic, but like if anything that's really more the dark side, and the dark side encompassing perhaps like any negative energies, any offensive type magical ability. So it does have a huge encompassing, but that's a really, really great question. Um,
I guess I have a side question to that.
Go for
Because
it.
I guess my real question is, how do we determine the difference between what's black magic and what's not?
Great question. You will feel it in your heart because magic, you feel the intent of the magician's energy. So when you feel the magic, you can feel if their intent was pure or not. Especially, for those of you with water moons, that's the first thing you'll feel. So very great question. Very great question. Because some people can act like they're giving you positive magic, but the intent feels off, and it's like, some fugazi, deceptive stuff. So my second question for you is, what are your three favorite zodiac signs, and what three give you the most challenge?
Ooh, three favorite. Oh man, that's just so. I'm so biased. I mean,
Mm.
Scorpio is definitely up there. Like, I just, at least now I recognize like just how much I'm drawn to that plutonic energy, whether it's just like in anything, like in music and like everything that I've recognized I'm drawn to. Like I just love that. Or I also love Pisces, but it's like Pisces and Cancer, but like let's just say water signs. Let's just say water signs. Cause I just yeah, water tribe for real. Like I just every time I like meet someone that has like a very like heavy water energy, like I always know it. And it always just feels like home, and it just like but
So,
that's for me. Um, they can take up two categories since there are three. but I have to put Libra because Libra can always just get away with anything.
They can. Yes, they can. All they have to do is smile at you and probably kiss at you.
The only people that like in my life were like they can really do some jacked up stuff, and it's like, well, they're the ones that ultimately have been teaching me, I guess, unconditional love. I'm gonna be honest about it, but it's Libras are something, but I love them. Plus, I have a lot of Libra in me too, with my like draconic chart and stuff. So, or I think I'm a Libra.
Libras are something. They're evil.
I think I'm a Libra. I think I'm a Libra moon or rising in Vedic. But yeah, 3 most challenging. Sagittarius is honestly really challenging for me. As much as I love them, they often pull they're challenging because I'm too serious. And they definitely challenge me to be way more YOLO about things, to be way more like, it's cool. Things are going to be all right. And even if it's not going to be all right now, it's going to be all right eventually. Like, they just bring me to kind of relax more in the flow of things. But they're just so sarcastic. And so, like, I'm just much more, like, pure, I guess. I feel like you don't say things you don't mean. So why are you being sarcastic? I like sarcasm, but I love them though. But they're also like I said, my North Node. So I'm learning a lot about really taking more of that, it's not even just relaxed, but it's just more joyful, more fun, more exuberant, more expansive. So just really taking that, like, just wanting to be more expansive and not wanting to contract more and stay stuck. Other 2 though, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I have any like specific signs. I guess maybe I would say Leo, because honestly, all the signs that challenge me are the ones that like I low key have, like, there's something in it that I am like wanting. So like when Leos, even when they like set me off, it's usually because they're just like not just being themselves, but like they know that like they're the shit. And so it's like at times it's like I wish I had that like constant confidence of knowing like I'm
yeah, it's kind of intimidating.
Yeah, like it is. It's like
Leo has this standard, and they won't have to say it. They can be cool with you, but their fire is like, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
It's more legit and official than you. Even though they could be totally humble too, it's just like, and I don't even get mad at it. It's like, okay, it's a challenge. I feel like
it's like, it's not even like that's what's like it's challenging, but it's like I ultimately see it's like
pretty awesome.
And like y'all just think y'all cool. But that's kind of how I feel with like all the signs that I feel challenged by. I guess the last one would be like Capricorn, because like I said, I have like no earth in my chart. So like the ability to just like be like just like not just grounded, but like have structure and be like, and I always feel like Capricorns, like whenever they do come with like but what do you have to show? Like, what is your plan? Like, what is your like actual, like, that'll be the part that'll trigger like that Gemini part. It's like, I can have all the ideas and I can talk a lot sometimes. And it's like, I need to, okay, I guess I got to actually do something. Okay. So yeah, I guess that's my top 3. That's my top 3.
That's what's up. That's good. All right. That's a healthy 3 too. Libra, Leo, and Cap, they're naturally challenging for everyone. So.
Oh, I guess that's good to know, because.
So what is? I guess we're on the 3rd round now.
Ooh, okay. Last question. Because you've already told your top 3 like a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there anything that you're wanting to like get into more, like, because you know, like, obviously a lot about like astrology and about tarot. Is there any other like tool or like modality you're wanting to like expand into?
Amazing question. It's funny how you said you are nervous about asking questions because every question you asked was amazing. So
Oh, great.
after I finish teaching astrology, basically here, we're gonna get into palmistry, we're gonna get to I Ching, human design, like we're going in. And I really want to get into the modality of healing and cleansing. That's really the next state for me. Do house cleanings, really heal people, do more live ceremony healings. So yeah, definitely gonna start from scratch there and see what's up. I would love to get into herbology too, so I can be an alternative medicine man. That might be more in my 30s. We'll see. Great question, though. Great question. My final question for you is, what's your favorite crystal and what's your favorite tarot card?
Ooh, my favorite crystal, like, for me, it's really, I don't have like something static. So I'll just say right now, my favorite crystal at the moment is this 6 point. Ooh, you can see that here. But this for me, I didn't even realize it when I first got it, but for me, it's definitely representative of like that violet flame of transmutation, of being able to integrate all parts of self. Maybe some people might resonate with like the term like soul retrieval, but like that's definitely like, this is my favorite stone right now, or it's been my favorite stone, but as I started to, I guess, really get in touch with it more, it's definitely for me a resonant of like that, and the power of forgiveness, and the power of not just forgiveness, but how much it's able to not even just like transform, but how it's able to like release karma in a way where it's like, it's not even like releasing karma, it's like in a way where acknowledging like karma is not something to run away from. Karma, the whole concept, is just, you're ultimately learning through the process that all that you do is affecting you. Like, oh, that quote from that Beyonce song, where she's, I forget what song it is, but like, you, when you hurt me, you hurt yourself,
Okay.
and when you love me, you love God yourself, like herself. Like that for me, like that's that resonancy for me of like I just got so many chills when I said that, of like, yeah, when you create harm and then like you see how it comes back to you, and it's not to be like, oh, I need to not do bad because bad's gonna come back to me, but it's ultimately to learn and integrate all parts of self, which means integrating the acknowledgement that you are me and I am you, and we co-create here. So yeah. And you said favorite tarot card. I'll go with death. I'll go with death for sure. It's usually very beautiful in any deck that I've owned or I've seen. It's just the way people also archetypal, like draw it, and the way that people um portray it. I really love it. And just, that's a Scorpio card. So I mean, like I said, I love it.
It's so badass. All right, thank you so much, though. This is really dope. In closing, do you have any? How can people reach you for readings or for consultations, or and what services do you offer?
Yeah, so I do have a YouTube. I usually mainly use YouTube and Instagram. Um, it's just really hard for me to keep up because I'm also a mom. So I'm a mom to two littles. So I focus mainly on YouTube, where I do like my daily like messages, and I also just do like reviews or just overviews of the current transits, and particularly the 13 moon calendar, Mayan astrology. And for readings, I do have a site at gladiatorandsweats.com. Currently, I'm actually just really in the process of wanting to focus on providing people with not just more labels, because I feel that it's cool to recognize like what we resonate with, but even as we recognize like the terms or the groups or concepts we resonate with, I want to provide actual um, actual knowledge or wisdom to see how they're put together. So right now, my focus is on star lineage and galactic history. So in recognizing, our connections to Lyra and to Vega and to, all of these different star systems, but also seeing what lessons that we're learning in this current now from these lessons, because we're all, this star stuff, but it's like we're acknowledging that we're part of the star stuff, but I feel like we're not acknowledging like what that means. We're not acknowledging like what that entails. That means that entails all of the lessons, all of the history that comes from, what has happened in these stars. And we're actually learning them now, as above, so below in every level. So that's really what my focus is. I also do provide, general tarot readings, but that's really what my heart is at in giving that information.
Amen. That's what's up. That's really what's up. And do you and I have the links to your YouTube channel and Instagram below. Well, for anyone who wants to check out, make sure y'all subscribe to her. Shout out to those of you in the live chat showing love. That's really dope. And I guess to close, do you have any final word of encouragement for anyone walking the spiritual path?
Yeah. Honestly, I guess it sounds corny, but like, or not even corny, but honestly, you don't need more and more and more and more knowledge or more tools or more anything before you do what it is that you feel inclined to do. And that's just for something I had to hold to my heart. And I feel that's something that many of us, as we're really wanting to, whether we're getting into like wanting to be a healer or we're wanting to be more in this sort of field, or even if you're wanting to just do something more on the like material plane, you're wanting to like open a restaurant or something or whatever it is, like there is no like level, there's no like real prerequisite to do what you want to do. And ultimately I feel like if we're seeing this and you're like listening to me, like that's kind of what we're here to do. We're here to show it's not about how much time, it's not about the material, it's not about how many things you can collect or like it's not about that. It's about your willingness to do it. It's about your authentic heart and desire, like getting to the heart of why you want to do it. And if the reason you're wanting to do it is because you just honestly love to do it, you can't imagine not doing it. It's not about, okay, well, it would make money. I mean, that's a bonus. That's just another way. That's another energy exchange. Just another form. But like, don't focus on like the money aspect of anything. Focus on like if it's like it makes your heart just like yearn, or if it's like the one thing that you're always thinking about. Put your focus and into that. Like this energy, this all of this the way that everything's aligning, it's focusing, so we're able to really just give that focus laser intent to where it's able to like that seed is just gonna grow just like that. It's gonna be so crazy. And so that's why I'm like, if we can just focus, and it doesn't even have to be like, oh, I want specifically to build this. It could be just, I want to feel like this, like I want to feel like this. Focus on that. Make everything, eat, breathe, whatever it is, be that frequency, be what it is that you want to do, and watch how fast, or just watch how it just falls into place, because you're not working to do it. You're doing it because you're being it. So yeah, I guess that's it. I can be super wordy, my bad.
No, perfectly said. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was a great episode. Thank you once again. Definitely felt the vibe. I definitely like the feedback in the live chat too.
Oh, I haven't even looked, because I know if I look, I will get so distracted. So I'll look afterwards. But yay, thank you.
No problem. You stay blessed once again, and everybody. Stay tuned until next video, and until next.
Bye.